Hi, Sean Haynes at the Ag Center giving you a weekly update on California almond markets. Almond prices continue to firm up with non-parals at about $2.88 per pound, independents at about $2.78 per pound, and cows at $2.70. In shell for $2.95 for non-parals and $2.81 for independents. Things are just continue to strengthen up for the market for all these nuts. I think you got a bunch of things kind of coming to conference here for that. One, I think Australia was shipping a lot of nuts this year as they're kind of finishing up their harvest, but they were pricing nuts about 80% above what they normally would to try to take advantage of these tariff markets, which pushed a lot of buyers back toward us, and they haven't kind of moved off that pricing strategy, which has helped out of California a lot. I think two markets got really opened up. India's shipments to India this year about 68% as they've kind of gotten deeper ties with the United States through this whole tariff process. I'm also talking about dropping their tariffs altogether, and then just really picked up almond volume. And then although China's kind of backed off on purchases, two things are happening there. One, Vietnam had picked up their purchases. They're up about 37% year over year, and volume going in there, which I think they just take, repackage, relabel, and send it to China. And then also a lot of people know in China especially, exporters can go to the government, ask for actual dispensation on tariffs. So they can go say, hey, I've got a shipment coming in. Can I get some kind of relief on this? And the government approves those or doesn't, but that's also been helping in some cases as well. So volumes are still kind of moving at a pretty good volume, and prices are high. When you look at the carry-in from last year coming into this year, 24 to 25 crop, we're light on the carry-in, about 450 million pounds in some cases. People talk, we really need to be 500 or 600 million pounds to really have enough to kind of get that bridge between when the old crop is sold and when we've brought the new crop in and processed it and it's ready for sale for a 25 crop. So there's been a lot of forward 25 crop sales already. People trying to get ahead of the boat. And we're seeing stuff in that 283 range to 274 range for pollinators, maybe 291 or higher for the non-parals. And a lot of folks thinking they may hit the $3 range if this kind of demand continues to push into that market. I think the other thing these people are looking at with this carry-in is we're also going to kind of reset how we calculate carry-in this year. Carry-in, a lot of people don't know, includes all the bits and pieces and trash and things like that kind of as total pounds in inventory, which could be between 5 and 10% of overall inventory, which means 45 to 50 million pounds of nuts could just disappear overnight once they kind of go to a cleaner version of, hey, this is my actual sellable carry-in, which is supposed to happen this year, occurs, and that may also signal the market to push up as well. Well, despite the fact we've got good conditions and the crop continues to look fairly large, 2.8 to 2.9 billion pounds in all respects, there's still a lot of questions between now and the end of the year about whether that fruition comes to fruition. Do we have enough water? We're kind of about 70% of snowpack year to date right now, and then also the fact that sometimes those estimates are off between 10 and 15% in the past few years. So all that's kind of been conflagrating and kind of pushing these almond prices up. It looks pretty good for growers this year. I think if I was a grower, I'd really think forward and say, hey, can I take some of this risk off the table if I'm going to call pool and sell some of my nuts for 25 ahead of time so that I've got my profit locked up and keep the bank from worrying. But that's what I've got for the long and short story on almonds this week. Thanks.